Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today I have yet another installment of best cards out of Reign of Bahamut, and today I will be covering cards in Havencraft. But before I get to that, I actually wanted to reference something that I said in my last video, which was regarding Leonidas. If you watched my last video, I covered Swordcraft and all the best cards in my opinion that are coming out the next set, but I realized that I kept referencing royal followers in the last video, and I'm just now kind of realizing that royal followers seems to just mean Swordcraft followers. I guess royal is probably the translation from Japanese to English, and it comes through as royal instead of Swordcraft. So, you know, that's my error, but Leonidas is apparently just a lot stronger than I said in my last video. So anyway, yeah, I mean, if it didn't sound worse already, but luckily today I am going over the deck that'll probably going to serve to be a hard counter to this guy because of cards like Blackened Scripture or Acolyte's Light, Haven. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. The first card I want to talk to you about today is very simple but respectable, and will possibly be taking up some of your Evo deck slots in BPO2 format. Radiance Angel is a 4-cost follower with 3 attack, 4 defense, ward, and the effect Fanfare Draw card. Like I said, it's super simple, but drawing a card is nothing to scoff at. It replaces itself, and Radiance Angel can also evolve for only 1 play point too. So on evolve, he gets the evolve effect to restore 2 defense to your leader, and again, absolutely nothing crazy here, but it has ward, it replaces itself with a draw, it heals you up a little bit, and a 4/5 Evo are, you know, that's some pretty decent stats. So look out for this card because it actually can combo really well with this other card that's coming out next format, and that is Alana's Prayer. This is a classic card for any of you that have played the original Shadowverse online game, and the perfect card for those of you who don't like for your opponents to have fun. Alana's Prayer is a 3-cost amulet with an effect that reads once per turn. When health is added to your leader, all your followers gain +1 attack and defense. While this card is only once per turn, the idea behind this strategy is that you can hopefully get a second or maybe a third copy of Alana's Prayer up, so the buffs will stack, and eventually you'll end up with a bunch of big meaty followers that become increasingly harder for your opponent to answer. Haven also already has a few cards that increase your leader's health on your opponent's turn, such as Dark Offering and Acolyte's Light. Either of these cards would trigger Alana's Prayer on your opponent's turn, which could potentially throw off your opponent not having enough attack to destroy your followers. Honestly, you know, going forward, you know, into the next format, Alana's Prayer is probably not going to be the strongest strategy in terms of playing Haven, but it's a fun one for sure. For you, not for your opponent. They probably will not enjoy it, but you know, it'll be a fun version of the deck to play, so definitely look out for it, and it could even be better later on, who knows. Moving on, I am really excited to talk to you about these next couple of cards, starting with Beast Call Aria, which is a 3-cost amulet with an effect that reads Fanfare, put a Holy Falcon into the field. You could also use 2 play points, send this amulet to the cemetery, and put a Holy Flame Tiger onto the field. Very solid new amulet, right? Another way to get Holy Falcon out, and you know, for some chip damage, and Tiger's extra removal. Tigers are always good. Well, this card is actually a lot better than you think because of this next card on my list. Kaguya is such a cool addition to Havencraft, and I think you guys are going to agree. Kaguya is a 5-cost follower, 4 attack, 4 defense, and an effect that reads, whenever an amulet enters your field, choose an enemy follower. Deal X damage to it, and X is the cost of the amulet that entered the field. And it doesn't end there. It also has Fanfare. Choose an amulet in your hand with a cost of 3 or less. Put it into the field. So imagine dropping Kaguya and slapping down a Beast Call Aria, right? Or even like a Death Sentence, actually. A Death Sentence would be totally free. Either one, very cool combos, especially in Death Sentence's case, because in BPO1 format, this card didn't always see a lot of play in Haven's decks because it always felt so bad to play on 3 because it came out already engaged, so you couldn't use it that same turn. But at least with Kaguya, you get 3 damage off of dropping it, and you played no play points, so it doesn't feel like a waste. Going back to Kaguya, by the way, she can also evolve for 2 play points, and that's where it really starts getting crazy. But when evolved, she gets a stat boost of 5/5 and gets the effect that on evolution, she can put an ephemeral moon into the field and add 3 to your leader's health. So ephemeral moon is a 3-cost token amulet that reads, as long as this is on the field, all your Kaguya do not take damage during your turns. And at the start of your main phase, you must banish this amulet, probably because it's cracked. But imagine this play in your head. You've gone second, turn 6, you drop Kaguya, you use its ability to play Beast Call Aria from your hand. So you got a Falcon, you got a follow-up Tiger, you deal 3 damage to an opponent's follower, then you evolve Kaguya, gets you an Ephemeral Moon, a token, sorry, and you deal 3 damage to an opponent's follower. Kaguya can't take damage during this turn, so you swing it into maybe like a ward or another big follower, and obviously live, and then your Falcon can freely swing into face. A lot of pressure falls on your opponent because suddenly you have big boy presence and follow-up removal, and you also just healed 3 somewhere in the process. So this card, Kaguya, this card is so good. And even though it costs 5 play points to play, no one can convince me otherwise. I think this card is going to be really, really solid. Momentum shift in Haven decks in the next format. And look out for it. It's only a gold, so I'm sure we'll see a lot of it. And now we're going to move on to more or less the win cons of our strategies moving forward for Haven and BPO2. Heavenly Aegis, the card that every Haven player is looking forward to meeting come September 29th, and understandably so. Sorry. This big boy is an 8-cost follower with a whopping 8 attack, 8 defense, aura, and the continuous effect that says it cannot be destroyed by card effects. And it gets better, or worse actually. If you're not playing Haven, it's worse. Heavenly Aegis can also evolve either by using 2 play points or discarding 3 cards if you're desperate. So no matter what, you're going to be able to get this evolve off. When evolved, goodness gracious, Heavenly Aegis gets a stat boost of 10/10. I was just looking at the stats and I was really appalled. And has the evolve effect that says during this turn, and your opponent's next turn, this card does not take damage. You're just not clearing this guy. I'm sorry. I mean, at least in the mirror match, you can drop Hair of Illusions for 10 and banish this guy, which is probably the only easy way of dealing with him, if you could even really call that easy. But everyone else is straight up not having a good time. I mean, you can't target him, you can't destroy him, you can't attack him because he takes no damage. This guy's an absolute unit, and you just better wipe out your opponent's life, I guess, before he just uses you as toilet paper for his godly cheeks. I mean, this guy's... It's going to be crazy to see what this guy does whenever he drops. And finally, that brings us to my last and final card today, Enstatued Serif. Okay, so this is a good card. This is a 6-cost amulet that reads, this card cannot be destroyed by abilities, which is incredibly nice already. At the start of your end phase, put a prayer counter on this amulet. Then, if this card has 4 or more prayer counters, put it into your cemetery. Add 10 to your leader's health, search your deck for up to 2 cards, and put them into your EX area. When you play them, their costs become 0. This card is pretty bonkers. I'm going to paint a picture for you of what it's going to look like resolving this card. It's your end phase. Things haven't been really going your way this match, but you finally get to 4 counters. You heal up. You feel young again. And you go through your deck, and you slap down Heavenly Aegis. In a perfect world, you slap down 2, actually. But because you're smart, you just do 1. And next to it, you drop down an insurance policy, a guarantee that you're going to live. And you put an Acolyte's Light, so that during your opponent's turn, you have a 0-cost quick effect banish removal that heals you by 2 more health. And then next turn, Aegis is coming down, and so is the Wrath of God, because you are taking over this game, I tell you what. Oh man, I'm tired, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like I said, I mean, Haven's got some really cool cards coming next format, and it could even be a hard counter to Swordcraft because it has some built-in removal for Leonidas. But like I said, hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends because it really is the only way for me to get this channel to grow. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.